Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And welcome back to the Operation Hill One Jar channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot mother freaking topics. Okay. Before I get started on this, dear DJ letter, ladies and gentlemen, can you please hit the thumbs up on the video? Hit the thumbs up on the video. Like the video. That's your free way of getting me out in the algorithm for free. Okay? Once again, for free. Cost you nothing. Like the video. Here we go. Dear DJ, I am a 30-year-old woman in a relationship with my first love. We have been together since we were both 16 years old. I am so proud of my man. He told me when we were 18 years old that he was going to be rich and how he was going to take care of me and afford me the lavish lifestyle one can only dream of. As promised, he has. For the most part, we have a very good life together, and I can credit him for making most of that happen. Last year, my mom lost her job and fell on some hard times. After she had no choice but to abandon her stubbornness and finally allow us to help her, but when she finally did allow us to help, it was too late and she was on the verge of homelessness. I immediately got a storage space, packed my mom's things up, and moved her right in with me. She's been here since November of last year, and it's been hell since then. My mom, and I mean this in the sweetest way possible, is an acquired taste. And my man knows this, so for many years he's been able to kind of maneuver around her in a way that's beneficial to all of us. It's just been a little harder for him to do so with her living with us. I can admit he's been trying. The other day, my mother must have woke up in a bad mood, and trust me, we all felt it. That was the final straw for my man. He hasn't said anything, but he has not been home for dinner since then. He's out the door before she wakes up and doesn't return home until he knows she's asleep. He's very limited with any interaction with her, and he's mostly quiet in her presence. I love that man. I love that my man is so respectful, but I really don't want this to affect our relationship with my mom and, more importantly, the relationship between him and I. Send me some of your encouraging words and assistance. As a matter of fact, heal my mother's heart. Please help. Signed, my mom is causing me and my man mayhem. Good job. Set my water. Okay, got it. Oh, how many times? Boundaries, 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 boundaries. Let me tell you guys something about boundaries, right? People are afraid of boundaries, right? People are afraid of setting them, and people are afraid of adhering to them, right? Let me say that again about boundaries. People are afraid of setting them, and people are afraid of adhering to them, right? Let me tell you about the folks that are afraid of setting them, right? Most times, oftentimes, if not all the times, I'm probably the only exception to the motherfucking rule. People want to be liked. People need to be liked. They have a desire to be liked. So anytime that somebody has to do something that will make other folks uncomfortable or will not make them look like the lovely, beautiful person that they want everybody to think that they are, then they struggle. Because of what? Their need to be liked, right? I was taught very early on, which I'm not going to lie, I got labeled selfish in some regard for it. And I think to some degree I was. I won't say it was only because of what I was taught. To some degree I was selfish as well, but I'm going through my own healing journey, okay? My fucking business. Anywho, I was taught very early on to set boundaries. My mother and my father always said to me, you have a mind of your own. You have feelings of your own. If something does not make you happy, you don't have to do it. You don't have to be a part of it. You don't have to adhere to it, right? If someone doesn't make you happy, you don't have to engage with them. You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to connect with them, right? Now, what they also said was sometimes when that happens, people will get mad at you. That's okay. That's a-okay. And you know, that was said to me, that was instilled in me from very young. But then as you get older, you struggle with, you know, people not being warm and fuzzy with you. And sometimes it's one person, sometimes it's a group of people. Either way, I've been taught very on to. I forgot to turn my lights on. Oh my God, I'm still recording. Fuck that. I'm just using natural sunlight. I've been taught very early on to enforce boundaries, and because of that, I can be labeled sometimes as selfish and more times than not a bitch. Am I bothered by it? No. No, I'm not bothered by it because I just discussed this in another Dear DJ. I'm not bothered by it because at times I have to practice self-preservation. Because if I walk around the entire world trying to make everybody happy but me, guess what will end up happening? Guess what will end up happening? I will die what? Alone and unhappy. So there is times in my life where I need to practice self-preservation. And in order for me to do so, I need to do what? Put up and enforce my boundaries. It does not always make people happy. They don't always enjoy that part of me. I'm not always their favorite person when I do it. I can't always make everybody else happy at the expense of me. Right? So now let's talk about it, right? Your mom is your motherfucking girl. She really my favorite girl. I get it. I get it. Everybody on this planet know Miss P is my motherfucking girl. Right? So I get it. I 100% get it. Right? And we do as daughters. We live to please our mothers. Right? It's just something that, it's a natural feeling. Especially when you look up and admire your mom. Right? And it sounds like you have a lot of admiration for Mama Love and y'all have a beautiful relationship. So, of course, you want to make Mama Love happy. Got it. 100%. What I think you might be forgetting, homegirl, is that the same love and admiration and respect that you have for your mom as another grown-ass woman, she should have for you. That should be reciprocated. And at any time that there is an issue with either one of you receiving the love and the admiration or respect out of love, admiration, and respect, you have to communicate that. So, while I understand it may not always be easy, it may not always be comfortable, it may not always be fun for you to communicate uncomfortable feelings. It must be done in order to preserve the relationship. Because if not, what will end up happening is you will hold on to the feelings until either A, you explode, or B, you lose something or someone, or C, you develop a disdain for the person making you feel those feelings, which in this case is your mother. And really and truly, it's not her fault. It's your fault because guess what? You're not enforcing your boundaries. Now, the reason why this is a touchy subject is because folks wouldn't view saying something about what's taking place in this moment as them enforcing their boundaries. Folks would view it as, oh, you done got with this motherfucking nigga. He taking care of you and treating you right. So now you going against the family. Beep, 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 ga. Really, am I? So let's talk about the situation to see if this is about him or about me, right? Boom. You have a situation and I step in as your daughter to save you, right? When I step in as your daughter to save you, because that is what I'm supposed to do and vice versa, instead of you welcoming my help and my support and showing me love and respect and admiration, you have now entered the space where you're receiving love and support and care and you're being disrespectful. And not only to him, but to me. So let's take him out of the equation. Look how I'm being treated after all of the love and the care that I'm presenting to you. Is that fair? I'm offering you everything I have as your daughter and as my mother. The one thing that costs you nothing to give me is respect, and you're choosing not to do so. Is that fair? So now when I see you making a choice and I decide to enforce my boundaries and make my own choices, I'm the bad guy? How? How, Sway? Make it make sense. Yeah, I am the bad guy. You know why I am the bad guy? I'm the bad guy because I'm no longer doing what makes you happy. I'm not enforcing my boundaries so I can be happy. What about that is unfair? You doing what makes you happy. You waking up every day, conducting yourself as a bitch in someone else's home that they have opened up to you because it's what makes you happy. And then when I do what makes me happy, I'm the bad guy. How, Sway? Make it make sense. But I'm going to tell you why I, meaning you, the letter writer, am the bad guy. Because you have gotten folks used to you not enforcing your boundaries and putting them first. So now how dare you decide to try or do something different? This is what you started. This is what you got me used to. You said in the letter, your mom is an acquired taste, right? Of course she is when she's allowed to be. Of course she is when she's allowed to be. And granted, she's your mother, so you couldn't put in overtime trying to change her. But what you could do is enforce boundaries so she knows not to be that way with you, or if she's going to be that way, don't engage you. And I know this sounds crazy and this sounds harsh, but this is real talk. I'm seeing a lot of memes where folks are saying they have literally cut parents off because of verbal and mental abuse, when instead they could have enforced boundaries that could have allowed them to still continue a relationship with a person, but it just would look a certain way. So like case in point, I've seen people when they've enforced boundaries, they have a relative that doesn't visit their home. It does not mean they don't speak to the relative. It doesn't mean they don't love the relative. It doesn't mean that they're not family. It just means that I have enforced a boundary about the way things are going to take place in my home, and you can't respect that, so you're not allowed here. Okay. Okay. Where's the harm and the foul in that? Okay. But the harm and the foul comes in because that person who doesn't want to respect the boundary sees an issue with you enforcing it. So fucking what? Let me say that with all the strength that I can muster it up with. So fucking what? But I think I can say that as the person who doesn't give a fuck about being liked. I don't know if you could. This is what I offer to people. And I say it all the time, right? If I did something with malice, I own it. I will 100% own it, right? I will 100% own it. I will say, listen, I ain't gonna lie. I was dead wrong because I did it with malicious intent. Whether it looked that way or not, I know the way I motherfucking planned it. So I did it with malicious intent. So I'll own it. I'll be the bad guy. I'll take the rap. I'll apologize. And I'll do what's best to fix it. But when I'm not doing anything with malice, then what makes me wrong? Whether you like what I'm doing or not is a different story. As long as it's not done with malicious intent on my part, what makes me wrong in this situation? You being able to push your boundaries will make you look like you're not a nice person or a good person. Are you putting up your boundaries with malicious intent? The fact that you will put up a boundary and not let your mom be disrespectful in your household, are you doing so with malicious intent? Because if you are, we don't even have to have this discussion no more. We can just say, well, listen, you just being a bitch, and I'm not here to heal a heart of a person who's dead set and determined to be a bitch. So we can just close this out right now. But if me encouraging you to enforce your boundaries is not done with any malice, but just to protect yourself and make sure you do something good for you, then we need to make sure that we get you to be able to be okay with doing so. You don't need to have to find guilt and feel pressured. No, it's not fair. And once again, people that genuinely love you and genuinely fucks with you, they always understand and respect your boundaries. Sometimes it takes them forever to get in formation with them, you know. So I'll give you an example, right? Say you have a sibling. You have a sibling that they drink a lot, right? Oh, Lord, I'm telling my own business. Say you have a sibling that drink a lot, right? And when they drink, they knock on your door to pee. I've been that sibling, right? Sometimes they knock on your door at 9 o'clock at night. Sometimes they knock on your door at 3 in the morning. Boom, 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 right? So let's just say you're now in a new program and you need to be up early in the morning. So that 3 o'clock shit is dead. It's like, listen, you cannot knock on my door at 3 in the morning. My boundary is you come at 11. Anything past 11, you can't come here to pee, right? Once again, you're not telling your sibling, oh, you can't come here to pee because I don't like the way you treat my bathroom. I don't like you use my paper towel. No, I'm telling you this because I have something important to do in the morning and I need to honor that. And I need everybody around me to respect that. So you knocking on my door at 3 a.m. presents an issue for me and I can't allow you to do it, right? There's no malice, there's no harm in that, right? Now, the sibling will still come drunk as a skunk, boom, 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 at 2:59, yelling and screaming, it ain't 3, you said 3, right? You choose to not answer the door. Child, the next day will be a whole family meeting. Oh, you know, so-and-so gonna leave me outside. So let me get this straight. I'm the bad guy for enforcing my boundaries. I didn't let you in because I had a rule. I shared that with you. And you still continue to try to go around it and disrespect it because it only matters what's important to you. So now when I do what's best for me, I'm the bad guy. How? But I'm sharing with you how you're the bad guy. Because who gives a fuck about your boundaries? I want you to do what makes me happy. I'm sorry? But I think people have a right to feel that way towards you because that's the space you have cultivated. You have cultivated the space for your mother to feel like her feelings and what she needs and everything else comes first. What's the issue with her feeling like that right now? The issue is, you know it's time to enforce your boundaries. And you're struggling because you're trying to find all of the reasons why you can't do it. Take your boo out the equation. Because what you said in your letter was, you said she woke up on the wrong side of the bed one of those mornings and everybody felt it. So take away the fact that your boo felt disrespected. What about the disrespect you felt? So before we even bring a third party into what's going on between you and your mother, why don't we just discuss what's going on between you and her? Which is, she's being disrespectful. She's causing mayhem in the home. She's making you unhappy. And because you're hesitant to enforce your boundaries, this behavior is continuing. This is not on Mama Love, sweetheart. This is not on Mama Love. What is allowed is what will continue. I will say that until I'm blue in the face. What is allowed is what will continue. We all have some things that we allow. The shit I allow, I never complain about. Never. I don't go back and tell nobody, you know, so-and-so did such and such to me again. Because my friend circle will be like, I'm sorry, what was that last word? So-and-so did such and such what? Again? How the fuck we get to again, bitch? Why you ain't cut that shit short? Exactly. Exactly. You know why you didn't cut it short, my dear? Because what you allow is what will continue. What the fuck you crying for about it now? So the things that I allow, I don't complain about. And the things that I don't, I just can motherfucking continue. Okay? So you got to pick your poison, sweetheart. You got to pick your poison. You have to either say, listen, I hear this all the time. I hear this all the time. That's how my mother is. Okay. So what you writing me for? If that's how your mother is, what's the need for the dear Deja boo? So that's not the approach you want to take. Because in the end of your letter, you ask for some help. And the only help that I can give you is that you have to get to a space where you feel comfortable enforcing your boundaries up against any and everybody. I'm telling you, there is literally people right now, right? You could walk into a room, you could put 10 people in a room. And you could divide them down the middle. 5 on one side and 5 on another. We got the 5 on one side that dislike me, that I don't have a relationship with, that they feel I've done something to them, whatever their issue is with me. And then you could put the other 5 on the side of the room that I fucks with, that likes me, that thinks I'm a good person, right? And then you go down the list, bringing one from each side and ask them, right? And what you're going to hear the people on the other side say is somewhere along the road, somewhere along the motherfucking road, I had to enforce a boundary. And because it no longer suited what those folks wanted, it presented an issue. Especially now in my life. Now, granted, before I was on the healing journey, don't ask somebody that about me, right? Because I don't know who that was before I was on the healing journey. I'm still apologizing for some shit I done did, right? Not that person, but anybody that, any of those 5 people, well, put only 5 people that we've had a situation since I've been on my healing journey. When you get down to the root of it is I just enforced the boundary. And that group of people is not happy about it. And I'm telling you, let me look in this camera when I say this. And I mean this from the bottom of my soul. And this goes for family. This goes for friends. This goes for co-workers. This goes for relationship, romantic relationship, my motherfucking man Pookie and anybody the fuck else. If you are on the other side because I enforced the boundary, I promise you on a stack of Bibles and my hand on my sister and my father's soul, I don't give a flying. Y'all fill in the blank. I do not care. I do not care. I do not care about folks being unhappy, about me doing what makes me happy. And in order for me to do so, I have to practice self-preservation and I have to put up my boundaries. Sweetheart, you have to do the same. And I know it's a struggle because it's your mother. You have to either reconcile one or two outcomes. One, I'm not going to do that because like what we just said, that's how my mother is. Okay, so don't write no more Dear DJ letters and there's no more complaining to be done. And if you lose your man in the process of it because he may not understand that's how your mother is, then so be it. Because that's what you have reconciled with. But if you have gotten to a space where you want to enforce your boundaries, then you got to get out in the paint and stand 10 toes down in it. And that won't make a lot of people happy because sometimes enforcing your boundaries and having self-preservation means that you are no longer putting people before you. Newsflash, my dear, you don't have to. So, listen, I want you and Mama Love and hubby to be on the greatest terms, and I want y'all to fall in love. But in any event that you can't, it is what the fuck it is. What you can't allow is for everybody to be put before you. That does not help you. So, sweetie, if you need more feedback, come get your healing heart session. Bring your mom in. You said she needed her heart healed. Right? Y'all come on in. Y'all come get y'all healing heart sessions because this is really, really a discussion that needs to be had. You know, boundaries are very, very hard. And we live in a world where now when you enforce them, people seek issue in that. And there's really no problem with people doing what's best for them. That's all boundaries are. It's folks doing what's best for them. Why the fuck do that make you mad? And if it does, that's not an issue for the person enforcing the boundary. That's an issue for you, my dear. And you need what? Healing. So come get your mother freaking session. In any event, ladies and gentlemen, please hit the thumbs up on the video. That's all that I'm asking. Please hit the thumbs up. Please hit the thumbs up. Please hit the thumbs up. That is your free way of supporting my channel. Because my channel is not monetized and you want to do something other than what's free, you can donate. So please hit me up and I will give you all the information. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate the Dear DJ letters, and you enjoy your day.